to walk through life, armored against all fear, peril and disaster. Only two things are needed. Only two things are needed, not many. The grace of the Divine Mother, and on our side, an inner state made up of faith, sincerity and surrender. I would like to say, to walk through life armored against all fear, peril and disaster, only two things are needed: the grace of the Divine Mother, our sweet Mother, and the grace of Savitri. Only two things are needed. I am not keeping Savitri separate from Ma. Grace of Savitri, and grace of sweet Mother and our Lord. Thank you for introduction, but do I really need an introduction? The best introduction is child of Mother. All these are meaningless after some point. Thank you so much. I feel very honored, very privileged to be here with you all this evening. It will always remain, and this will be one excuse to come to Singapore again and again. Dear children of sweet Mother, literally, essentially, we are born out of her heart. Once Katie said, "Na Amalda wrote to Lord, I have not had any realization, Sir, Guru, but only one thing I know." He had already completed 30, 40 years. 40 years Amalda had completed. Only one thing I know. She's my mother. I've taken birth from her. Then the Lord wrote, this is all what matters. What realizations? This is the bedrock foundation of all realizations to come. When Amalda wrote, he meant what he wrote. When Lord replied, he meant what he wrote. Those memorable correspondence were not literary. So today's topic, it is not a topic, but I want to share with you the rasa, the sweetness, the power, the glory of Savitri, the Mother. Savitri, the Divine Mother. We should not forget divine before Ma. Then little personal example. First time, I just 19 years plus and I must find him. I said goodbye to my father, goodbye to my family. Where are you going? I will let you know where I am going. And the destiny, the greatest luck took me to her feet and Lord's feet. And Ma accepted me in the middle of the academic session. Then, it was my first meeting on my birthday. I was in a boarding house, starry-eyed. So I said, everybody, my boarding house, Krishna, everybody, this is your first meeting. You're going to meet her. So, you can ask anything. So, what should I ask? Ma will grant you anything. I was very confused, very puzzled. What should I ask? But during my 3 months of stay, I came to know about Savitri. There is such thing as Savitri. But then I had read Mahabharata, I had read Satyavan Savitri, the meeting, and the story. But epic, I hardly knew English. But I like to read Meeting of Satyavan and Savitri. I like to read because it connected me. Young man, young princess is meeting the young prince. I liked it. Something very interesting. But the beginning did not attract me. Only the meeting of Satyavan and Savitri. And the great day, the great moment came when I was to see her. Rajeshwari, Maheshwari. I can't tell you whosoever has seen her. No words can tell you. Her diamond blue eyes, her smile. I'll come to that later. Her very look, compassion. So, young, you can imagine, fear, curiosity, and Champaklalji there to receive me first time, and my heart was turbulent, my mind was disturbed. I've come here to find God. What is all this? And I was ushered into the sanctum sanctorium where the imperial Maheshwari, and I was ushered in. Champakal said, go there. I went. Ma looked at me as if eternity's recognition. At last, you naughty boy has come. You have come to me. I do not know whether I was waiting, my soul was waiting, or Ma was waiting. Then I put my head. She gave flowers and the card. And that card, my birthday card, reflected my mind and my mental situation. And you know, the card was written all by beautifully engraved by, the truth shall triumph out in spite of all the turmoil. I said, may God be blessed. The truth shall triumph. And then what I asked before a day we had to write, Savitri. Of all the things I asked for Savitri. About, I hardly knew, but it was such a straight, spontaneous. It was not curiosity, something firm, the call. It was not a mental choice. I'm very sure of that now, after 40 years. It came. I want Savitri Ma. And I was told, Ma was very pleased that who this young kid wants Savitri. Then she gave to me, she gave to Champaklalji, blessed the 2 copies, 2 volumes, old volumes, and then Champaklalji handed over to me. He was pleased, everybody was pleased, including myself. Then I like to say now, it took me years to understand this. When Guru gives you something, this is not something, not material. And when least of all, when Guru gives you this, I like to say, Ma also granted me the understanding. I don't know what understanding. Take this also. This was not exchange of book. Ma was giving me fire. Let fire touch the fire. Savitri the fire. Agni. About which the entire Vedic chant, Rig Veda, Upanishads. So, then the journey started. So it was a pleasure. Where should I start? No way from the first pages. But I want to tell you something now. When you want to eat sweetness, sugar, we don't question, we just gulp it. Only afterwards you feel the taste. Sweet is sweet. You don't question, you don't reason how it is. You take it. So slowly and gradually over the years, one touch there, one touch of grace, one look here and there, slowly and slowly the beauty and the power started revealing itself. There is a verse in the Upanishad, Kathopanishad, whomsoever the self chooses, it lays bare open. Whomsoever it chooses, whomsoever Sachidanand chooses, whomsoever the Lord chooses. It is the duty of the choice. One who makes a choice lays bare the body. I will tell you another interesting thing now. When Lord says in the Gita, Yuge Yuge Sambhavami, I manifest, I come over whenever there is a crisis of consciousness, not so much of dharma. I like to say now, wherever there is a crisis of consciousness, wherever the time comes when there is upswing necessary, upturn necessary, I come. I like to say, whenever there is a crisis of consciousness, I also manifest as Savitri. Why not? Shabda Brahma. Shabda is not separate from the Lord. Here the Lord is manifested. Not only ornamental, but supramental Godhead is manifested as the body. Literally, I am not using any figure, no metaphor. Lord is manifested as Shabda Brahma. So there was a crisis of consciousness. And to create this divine body, our Lord took 50 years to hone it to perfection. And I remember Niruddha telling, Niruddha was my teacher who took down Savitri. I always like to visualize. He would walk and dictate the eternity. There was leisure, there was a pleasure, and the Lord would dictate in his king. And Niruddha will take down for the future, the eternity, like Ved Vyas, Ganesha. So, there we are. Where to begin, how to begin, I tell you. I told you very clearly, no vachan, no pravachan. It is sharing the sweetness. No lecture is the last word. Talk. No. Sharing. Little touch, because we all like to share. Then, I come to now. Whenever I think of Savitri, there is a vastness, sense of vastness. Satyam Ritam Rahat. Not an epic. These are names, but it is an encounter with the vastness, deepest depth of the ocean, highest Himwant peak. When the first sun rays, the golden limpid sun rays, touch the Himwant, that radiance, that infinite blue, the vastness, sense of vastness, it fills you. The very look of Savitri is very comforting. Here is the protection. I may not read. I like to see the life divine. Yeah, they are there. Anchors of the soul, they are there. And well supported by Lord and Sweet Mother. Now you must be wondering, what is the subject matter which I need not tell you? Love, passionate love of the divine Sweet Mother for the soul. The passionate love of Divine Mother for the suffering humanity.